This is my audience. Oh. Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Mary-Katherine Pete. Today, I'll be talking about why teachers' salaries shouldn't be dependent on their students' standardized test scores. There are still districts today that do choose their teachers' pay based on the standardized test scores that their students have gotten. I remember vividly my senior year, I woke up for our standardized test and went to school, and it turned out only 22% of my class actually showed up to our standardized test. Bottom line is that most students just don't care about it, and that means that 88% of the students in my class got zeros on their standardized test, and that reflected the teacher's work, and it shouldn't have. Teachers are one of the most important. It's one of the most important things in the world because they're teaching our future generation, and if we run out of teachers, then the generations coming up will not be educated. I personally chose this topic because I want to be a special education teacher, and I've seen firsthand how standardized tests can go and how flawed they are and how much more a teacher is than just a test score. I'm going to start off just by talking about how it is a proven fact that money isn't a good incentive, and it's not going to increase test scores. Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, actually did a study where they offered bonuses to teachers whose students got higher test scores. And then they had another group who they didn't offer, and those test scores didn't differ. Bottom line is that teachers are just going to teach their children to the best of their ability, and the children are going to kind of choose whether or not they want to put their best into the standardized test. In fact, the Economic Policy Institute has actually advised America and school districts all across our country to not make to not use pay as an incentive because it just simply won't work because it's a test-based evaluation system. So we've talked about test scores, or we've talked about how it's not a good incentive. So let's go ahead and talk about how a lot of students and a lot of parents don't care about standardized tests. A lot of students and a lot of parents actually choose to opt out. In 2016, 20% of students in the United States actually did opt out. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 20% of your scores that are kind of going down the drain. A lot of students don't care. Test scores or standardized test scores that the states offer do not get recorded to colleges. And so therefore students aren't going to pay attention. Students aren't going to put in their best effort. In fact, a study that West Virginia did showed that 1 in 3 high school students said that they don't care about their score on a mandatory state test. Now, I'm not talking about the ACT or the SAT. I'm talking about things like, for us, we did CSAP and TCAP, and in Texas, they do something else, whatever. So let's go on. Using one test average to determine how much someone will make in their year is just simply not fair. You can't judge a teacher's performance based on students' test scores. Some students don't test well. Some students is going to be inaccurate of what they know in their education and how they were taught. And ultimately, this will drive good teachers away. If teachers know that they are going to only be judged based off of one statistic and one test score, then they're gonna go to different careers because they want to be surrounded by a supportive environment. And it also creates a lot of doubts of fairness in the system. So in conclusion, teachers really do a lot for our country, and the fact that many school districts still determine our teachers' pay is outrageous, because there's just so much more to their teaching than just one single statistic. Thank you. And here's my audience again.